Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Big shout out for our sponsors, All About Your Construction and the Alzheimer's Association. For more information on All About Your Construction and their construction services, call 541-570-1059. And for more information on the Alzheimer's Association and how to donate, go to alz.org. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. So glad to have you all here today. I am super excited about this Thursday morning as we are getting closer and closer to actually being done with March and moving on to April. It's shocking how quickly this month is gone. And I have just been blessed with so many great guests. And on Marketing with Russ this morning, I have Travis, who is an amazing individual. Love this guy, the original creator of the Hydro Flask and just an all-around good guy doing some incredible things. So he's going to talk with us in just a few. But first, I wanted to remind you who I am. So my name is Russ Hedge. I am your inspiration specialist. I'm a marketing coach. I am a keynote speaker and a live streamer, obviously. You know, really, my purpose and why in life is to inspire and encourage you to live a purpose-driven life of significance. What does that mean? I want you to be a world changer. I want you to be a difference maker. I want you to do amazing things. And how do I do that? Through my marketing coaching and all that I do? Well, I tell you, if you're struggling in your business, if you're just trying to connect, if you're feeling disconnected with others, I can really help you because relationship and connection is the basis and the foundation of your business. And I would love to help you with that. Go to russhedge.com. That's russhedge.com to connect with me. And I would love just to connect with you. You know, my goal this year is to connect with at least 1,000 new people. That sounds like a daunting number. Really, though, it's only about 3 people a day, and I'm pretty much blowing that out of the water. I've already connected with 2 new people today. So you can do amazing things when you connect to others, and you find people like Travis, who we're going to talk to today, who are also doing amazing things. And I am just so excited. You know, one of my good friends, Luke, who's on this morning, he originally connected Travis and I. And it's funny because Travis lives right here in Oregon, like I do, and he lives in a different part of Oregon, but we're really close together. And Luke's all the way back in New York. And what is amazing about that is how we have all become connected because of this great medium that we're talking on right now, through live streaming, through Zoom, for all the things we can do through video conferencing. It's an amazing what you can accomplish and amazing where you can go in this world. So excited about that. Again, don't forget, I love to connect. russhedge.com is a place to go. Also, you can pick up a copy of my book right behind me there, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, right there. It's available on Amazon or all online booksellers, or you can go to russhedge.com, buy book now on my website and pick up a copy there as well. Love to encourage you through that. So don't forget, we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's right, Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Love to have you join us. One other quick note. Want to remind you that Wednesdays I'm on with D. Scott Smith on The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. It is every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And just to confuse you even further, we have a pre-show at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Instagram called The Experience Backstage. All kinds of live streaming going on. So I'd love to have you to be part of that. So I think that is enough about me. You know what? I just really excited to bring Travis on. He is ready. Here he is. Travis in the house.
Hey,
How's it
Russ.
going, man?
I'm well, thank you. Can you hear and see me now?
I can hear and see you. All is good.
All right.
The fun of technology, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess it would be a good time to say we don't actually have great internet in Oregon. So if you're thinking about moving here, maybe don't, because we don't have great internet. So you should probably stay away from Oregon. There's my Oregon.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess what's interesting about that is it all depends where you are in Oregon a lot of times too, because even where I live in Salem, like right now here at my house, I'm blessed with pretty good internet, but I can drive across town and have lousy connection and lousy internet. So you never know. It all depends where you are. But you know what? We just make the best of it. We smile, we move on, and we make it good, right, Travis?
Go with the flow. That's right, Russ.
Well, listen, let's start off with, we were blessed to have you on The Experience a couple of weeks ago. And, I heard about all the amazing things you're doing. We've been able to chat a couple times, but I want you to tell my viewers today and listeners who you are, where you came from, and how you got through this hydro flask thing that everybody knows about and what you're up to today.
Okay. Well, my name is Travis Rosbach, and I am originally from Salem, Oregon. And I took off to the U.S. Virgin Islands right after graduation from high school. I became a boat captain, dive instructor, scuba dive master, and did that for a number of years, and then realized that I was actually an airline pilot. So went back and started flying right around 2001. I came back actually to Salem and got my private pilot's license out of the Salem airport, and then became a commercial airline pilot, moved back home down to the Caribbean and flew for Seabourn Airlines, St. Croix, St. Thomas, Puerto Rico. Did a bunch of jet charters out of Florida, did that for a while. But my passion was always business. I always had just a really strong entrepreneurial calling. And so my girlfriend and I moved back home from Florida. We were in Florida where I was doing jet charter. We moved back home to Oregon and started a fence company, Bend Fencing. Did that for a while, sold it, took off to Oahu and started Oahu Signs and Screen Printing, kind of a ad agency, marketing, branding agency. Did that for a fair while. And then one day I was thirsty and went into the sporting goods store in Honolulu to go get a water bottle. And they had removed all of the plastic water bottles from the shelves. And it just like came in. Okay, now I'm doing water bottles. So started Hydro Flask and moved back home to Bend, Oregon, and started growing Hydro Flask. And then about 5-6 years later, had just kind of the season was over. And so I exited Hydro Flask and kept traveling around the planet. I said around, I don't like to say around because I don't know that that's completely accurate. I traveled the planet. And then finally I just got bored and kind of tired of not doing business. And so I started the Tumalo Group here in Bend. And now we help people start up their businesses or take their businesses from where they are to where they want to be. So that's kind of a nutshell.
Well, yeah, quite a nutshell. So let's dissect that a little bit. So first of all, I love the part you're in Honolulu and you're starting this Hydro Flask thing. What that just exploded. I mean, everybody knows Hydro Flask. So, did you have experience in that? Give us just a little bit more information on that, and then we're going to jump to what you're doing now.
No, I didn't. Basically, when I was in college, I worked at a rock climbing store. I did a lot of rock climbing in between flying and everything else in college. And so I was familiar with these plastic reusable water bottles. And so we were living on the North Shore of Oahu and watching the plastic and the garbage wash up on our beach every morning really started to get old. And so I, like kind of thought, well, what if we could just eradicate single-use plastic? How hard should that be? And as that thought was kind of starting to grow more and more, the sporting goods store took a preemptive measure and pulled all of the plastic water bottles off the shelf. The owner was French, and she had learned in Europe that there was this stuff called BPA. We weren't real sure what it was and not really sure how bad it was going to be, but she decided that she wanted to take all the bottles off the shelf just to be safe. And I asked the guy working there, I said, well, who's going to fill this shelf back up? He's like, nobody. There are no other brands. And it really did just come in, and it came right out my mouth. And I said, I will do that. And about that point, I saw myself 10 years down the line on stage talking about this highly successful water bottle company. And sure enough, about 10 years later, I was at UCLA or UC Berkeley and talking about a water bottle company. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, truly amazing, how that, really going from something, a need that you saw to such a huge, huge thing. And I mean, that spawned, I'm sure, many, many other companies from that point. So you sold that, you're constantly moving, and the company you do now, I mean, you have all this experience from all these adventures in your life. I love the airline pilot thing, by the way. And now you're helping other people. So give us a little information about that. The name of the company one more time.
Tumalo, Tumalo Group. It's basically not Bend, right next door to Bend. And we are helping, we do a lot of sourcing. Originally, it started out that we were doing a lot of overseas manufacturing sourcing. There can be a big disconnect between American businesses and finding the best and the right factories over in Asia. And so that's kind of what we did a lot was do a kind of a bridge the gap between the East and the West. And then over the last sort of 2 years or so, it's been really moving back home. We're finding a lot more American manufacturers who are able to compete with the international manufacturing markets, and which is awesome. So now we're moving a lot more American companies and American brands back home to American manufacturing, and doing a lot more advising. I'm taking on a lot more clients, coaching, consulting, advising, however you want to call it.
So you're working with people everywhere, and that this whole medium of digital nowadays kind of helps with that, doesn't it?
Big time. Yeah, I see it right here. I'm 30 feet from my house, and I walk over to my little office studio thing, and I talk to people all over the planet every day.
Yeah, I found that amazing. I found that amazing. I mean, first of all, you and I are here in the same state, but I am the same way, dealing with people and talking with people all over this country, all over the world. And it's incredible, the opportunities. I think a lot of times, you clearly see it in a big view, big picture. There is so much opportunity out there today, right? You do not
amazing.
you're not confined to Oregon. You can be in Oregon and go wherever you want.
It's so cool. I grew up in Salem where it rains a lot, and I was grounded a lot. So I spent a lot of time in my room and reading books and encyclopedias and dreaming of being on the far side of the world in Australia and Africa and all of these wild, far off exotic places. And now I'm sitting here in my office, and I talk to Australia just about once a week. I talk to people in Africa about once a month. I talk to people in China, 3 times a week. And it's just awesome because I get to, kind of virtually teleport over there with no jet lag and no, major wear and tear on the body or the bank account. So I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I joke with people that I can bounce from the Philippines to South Africa, up to Dublin, Ireland, down to Florida, up to New York, and back to Oregon before 10 a.m. in the morning.
Is that awesome? I love
I
that.
know.
Yeah. It's like we live in the
It,
Jetsons or something. It's so cool.
I know. Well, you know what is so interesting about it and so cool about it, Travis, is that, we're able to create these really incredible, authentic relationships and friendships with people all over the world. And just because you're on video does not mean you can't really develop these connections and friendships. And, our friend D. Scott Smith, my co-host of The Experience, and he is always talking about the science of, he's the science guy, right? I'm the right brain creative guy, he's the science guy, the science of relationships and how you can definitely form as good of relationships on video that you do in when you're in the same room as somebody. But it also gives me excitement about being able to go places around the world. I can't wait to take my beautiful wife to Dublin, Ireland, where I have a whole group of friends. It would be great to run to New York again. I've been there several times with my beautiful wife and see Luke,
I
who
was just
connected
gonna
us
say,
initially.
yeah, there he is. No jet lag.
Luke is just, I thought I was the super connector till I met Luke. I could barely keep up with this connection. Um, so yeah, no, it's been amazing. So when you're working, what is the primary thing that you find companies are struggling with when you're trying to help them grow? Because people come into business, a lot of people are good at what they do, but they're not really good at business, right? They're good at what they do,
Exactly.
but they're not good at getting the word out, connecting to marketing, all those kind of things. What do you find is the number one issue?
Well, I think it kind of is a size equation. Also, some of the startups, the small 1 and 2, 5, 10 operators, uh, yes, they may be really good at what they do, but their business or their branding or their marketing or their sales or their manufacturing or their distribution are perhaps lagging in a couple areas within those categories. And a couple of those weak points can really start to add up and compound, and it can really start to take its toll on the bottom line. And then the adverse of that is I'm finding we're working with larger and larger Fortune whatever companies, and they are losing touch with the masses. They're losing touch with the average consumer, you and I on the street actually buying their products. And so they need to almost kind of like roll back a bit and step down off of this sort of high perch that they're on and remember us little people and start really advertising, marketing, and creating products for us. And and we're also finding that telling stories and learning about the founders and learning about the owners of the company and why it got started and where the concrete roots really are is really helping with sales. The average
Yeah.
customer, especially in America, really wants to know where they're getting their products from. They want to know that they're helping their, if not very local community, at least their national community. And so that's also becoming more and more critical and more fun too, because who doesn't like to tell a good story about, the guy down the street who started a cool company?
Exactly. Like I heard about that Hydro Flask guy. He's amazing. We should tell his story. Um, you know, I just got done with Donald Miller's story brand, and what an amazing guy. I know you know about him, and it's just life and marketing really is a story. Business is based around a story. People get drawn in by a story, right? And so, what is really important too, and I have learned over my business life, and especially now being an entrepreneur the last couple of years, I'm on my own business, that it's not all about me. That was really hard to take too. I mean, all these years I thought it was all about me. And it's really all about our customers, all about the people that we're talking to, what we're doing, because they don't really care about me. Isn't that sad, Travis? They don't care about you and me. They just care about themselves.
That's
And
very true.
so, yeah, I mean, I always joke with people. People are their favorite subject. I am
Me,
my
myself,
favorite subject, right?
Yes.
And so we need to learn to listen and to find out what people really want and make it about them, because that's when you really connect with people, right?
Absolutely. And I don't, I think that there is a bit of a fallacy that, the customer is always right, or the customer always knows what the customer wants. But that's not, I find that that's maybe not always the case. Sometimes they don't really know what they don't really know. And so you have to teach. But for the vast majority of the time, the customer knows good, bad, and indifferent. And
Right.
the indifferent and the bad are falling by the wayside, and the creams rise into the top, and the customer speaks and votes with their dollars. And I think that's how it should be.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely the what they say, the proof is in the pudding. The results are going to show if we're really speaking to our audience, to our customer base, right? I mean, in business, all no matter how much we do and want to give and be and be doing what we're doing, we need to be connecting and getting to what the customer wants, whether it's product or service, whatever, because if people don't want it, we can get out there all day long and yap away and people aren't going to care. So I think that this has been obviously critical in your life. And I think a lot of times too. So this whole story, going back to the story, people get really drawn in. They love to hear people that have had adventure. And your life is like one big adventure with all the things you've done. Have you done did you live in the jungle for a while in Africa? And was the Wi-Fi better over there?
It felt like it. Yeah. Um, yeah, I was very, very fortunate to spend time in Nairobi and Mombasa, Kenya. And I got to go visit the Million Man Slum, which I need to put in air quotes because they do. It's not actually a million people. There are more than that there. And yeah, I mean, I've been I've been chased by pirates in Venezuela, and been ethered in the Caribbean, and I've been there and done that. Got the T-shirt.
That is so awesome. So how long did you live in Hawaii?
About 4 years. Yeah, we
Wow.
started out in Maui and then ended up in Oahu. And, it's not everybody's favorite, but I actually really enjoy Oahu quite a bit. I loved living there. We moved back to Bend. We got the first samples, and we really started in Oahu. But then once we got the first shipment into Long Beach, we moved back home to Bend to be here, and a little bit cheaper shipping and a few other. It's just easier to do business in Oregon than it is in Hawaii. It's just more expensive.
Right. Well, I can tell you that Oahu is my son's favorite. He is a big city guy. If he can live his life in Chicago, LA, New York, and Oahu, he'd be happy, right? And my wife and I are like Salem, Lebanon. Where's the little towns, right? Where's the country?
Yeah.
So yeah, but when we go, we have been blessed to be able to go over to Hawaii, to a lot of the islands. Well, it's all the islands, but we really like the ones that are a little more remote. Kauai, even the Big Island, because it's so big and there's great places just to get away to. And the blessing about the Big Island, you get off the plane, you can drive to Costco and get what you need, and then you can get away from everybody.
Exactly right. Yep. Yes. Yeah.
Well, and I love it. However, I do love living in Oregon. So I'm here in Salem, where you're telling everybody it rains all the time, but really doesn't rain all the time. It rains a lot more than Bend, but it is but I love the area because I love the green, the lush. I grew up in a suburb of Portland in Oregon City, and lived outside of the city. So I grew up in acres and acres of woods. That was my playground as a youngin', and I loved it. I love the green. I love the surroundings. So every time I go to these great places like you've been, Travis, I just love coming back. I just can't get away from Oregon.
That really is true. Right after selling Hydro Flask, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I said, yeah, I think we're just gonna head back east and go look for a new place out somewhere else. And he's like, what for? You're always going to turn around, come right back home to Oregon. It's like, yeah, you're right. So I just bought a house in Bend.
Yeah.
I mean, I have not been able to find anywhere else on the planet that I would rather live than Oregon. And, it kind of, we're dealing with some big growth here in Bend, and it's not real comfortable. We just weren't quite set up for this many people. And now we've got about 4 times more people than we did 2 days ago. But I still, I'm still here. I still love it. Luckily I've escaped, and I'm just outside of town, maybe twice removed. So that helps also.
There you go. Well, it's a beautiful area. My wife and I love to go every year, at least once. We go up to the Metolius River area, Camp Sherman, and then we roll into Sisters. We love the little town of Sisters right outside of Bend. And so love that area. And yeah, it's so great. So, I am just thankful, Travis, for you, for all that you're doing. And you're just such an easy guy to talk to. This makes my job super simple here. And I'm all about how amazing people connect, and you are definitely one of those amazing people. The way you've connected, the way you've grown your business, all the things that you've done. Why don't you give everybody here in our final moments, give everybody a last word of what you want them to remember about you, and then let them know how they can get in touch with you, because I know that we're leaving them wanting more, and they're going to want to know more about you.
Oh, well, thank you for those kind words, Russ. That's very nice of you. I would say that I'm here to do business and help people. And if you've got business and you've got needs and you want to grow to the next level, or you want to work on an issue or a project that you're maybe having a hard time with, then I am here. Travis or info at Tumalo Group, TUMALOGROUP.com. I'm also a little bit on LinkedIn, Travis Rosbach, ROSBACH on LinkedIn also.
Awesome. Awesome. And for those of you that came into the show late, Travis is the original creator and founder of the Hydro Flask. And so the reason I bring that up again is because most everybody can relate to that and knows what that is. And he is an incredible business person and business mind, and all that he's done and all the adventures he's had all around the world, not just virtually, but in person as well. So make sure that you connect with Travis, because he is the kind of person you want in your corner. He's the kind of person you want helping you with your business, because when we can pull from experience and help other people, that's when the magic really happens. And he's definitely got that. So Travis, I really appreciate you jumping in here on Thursday morning. And it is something we're going to do again. I'm going to have you on one of my other live streams. I have a couple Russ Reels coming up. That live stream is a panel driven, topic driven live stream. And I'd love to have you on with one of the panels I have there with some other amazing business people, because always drives great discussion on those.
Oh, that'd be great, Russ. As long as it's not the middle of the night like last time, it would be awesome. I'm just kidding. I would anytime, any place. Absolutely.
And what's amazing about this is that this time I made it an hour later, because this show's an hour later, and you'll be blessed to know that usually Russ Reels are at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that is definitely a better time for you.
I'm usually up by then. Yes.
Well, listen, thank you so much again for being here. I'm going to send you out to the green room. Hang tight for just a sec as I wrap up, but thanks for being here.
Thank you, Russ.
Hey, everybody. Wow. Listen, what an amazing individual. I'm not just saying that. I mean, he has done incredible things. I love the fact that he's been a pilot. He's created the Hydro Flask. He's traveled all around the world. He's run from pirates. I mean, you name it, he's done it. And now he is doing business all over the world, which is available to all of you watching today. These are things that all of us can do if we put our mind to it. You need to get out there and, get a little bit outside your comfort zone, and you can make amazing things happen. I told you that my why or purpose in life is to inspire and encourage you to live a purpose-driven life of significance. What does that mean? I want you to be a difference maker. I want you to be a world changer. And I want you to be like Travis and do these incredible things. That's why I bring people like Travis on this show to speak to you and to tell you the things they've done in their life. and help you with the things you're doing in your life. Because you know what? I'm 57 years young and I still have so much life in me. It doesn't matter how old you are or where you are, it's where you go from here. So let me encourage you today. And listen, go to russhedge.com if you want to connect with me. I love to connect with people. Plus, I can help you with your business. I would love to help you with your marketing message. If you're struggling, if you're feeling disconnected, I'm your man. I can be there and help you out. If you need an overall rehaul of your business, Travis is great to reach out to. All of his connection information is here in the comments and also in the show notes. So the easy way to click on those, get a hold of Travis, and he could definitely help you out. And so, listen, I just want to thank everybody for being here today again. Remember, we're here every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Time now. And I'd love to have you join us because we have so much fun with great guests. And listen, until we see you again, which will be this coming Monday, have a great day and a great life. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.